Good afternoon. My name is Tim Babcock, and I am a University Relationship Manager for the NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program. Welcome to our presentation, and thank you for joining us. I was in your shoes about 10 years ago, looking for opportunities to launch my career, and I wish I knew about this fellowship because it is an outstanding opportunity that I hope you take advantage of. So this information session is to inform you about this outstanding career launchpad within national security. Okay, so for over 25 years, the NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program has been hiring highly motivated graduate students to grow as future leaders for Department of Energy's NNSA. And there are over 600 alum who have gone through the program. Also a note, this is currently only open to US citizens. And also, you don't need any background in nuclear. We have hired hundreds of fellows with various backgrounds and various majors, a lot of different experiences. So we're interested in graduate students who are looking for an impactful career in national security. The mission of the NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program is to identify and develop the next generation of exceptional national security leaders to achieve the NNSA mission, which is to strengthen our nation through nuclear security. We are currently recruiting for the fellowship, which will start in June of 2023, and there are about 65 positions each year. So this NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program, or NGFP, is a premier one-year early career leadership program, and it's designed to facilitate and fulfill the NNSA mission areas. I work for Pacific Northwest National Lab, or PNNL, which administers the program. So fellows are not hired as federal employees, but they are PNNL employees during their fellowship. And so you'll see here on the slides that the fellowship will provide you real world experience and training and collaboration opportunities for you to be successful and launch a career within national security. So first, the real world experience for a career in national security. For example, Sidra Zia, one of our fellows in the class of 2019, was assigned to the Office of Radiological Security. And she said, "The fellowship at NNSA has provided me indispensable experience and exposure in the radiological security field and has introduced me to new ways of problem solving pertinent to federal work that I would otherwise have never gained." The second bullet here you'll see is specialized training, career development, and networking. Another example comes from Simon Arias, who was assigned to the Office of High Explosives and Energetics. He said about his fellowship, "My unique fellowship experience provided me with both programmatic and high-level exposure within NNSA. The leaders I've worked alongside are lifelong role models who have shaped my perspective as I navigate my career path." And then the third bullet here, you'll see collaboration with professionals and leading researchers from around the globe. We have an example from Whitney Bailey, who served as a fellow in the Office of Material Disposition. And she said, "In support of the International Plutonium Disposition Program, I organized both domestic and international meetings on plutonium management with a variety of international partners, including the UK and Japan. My contributions involved a high level of cooperation and planning with our foreign counterparts and with partner offices, agencies, laboratories, and sites." So you can see that this fellowship is an outstanding opportunity to give you experience, training, and collaboration to launch a career in national security. Okay, great. So what is NNSA? The National Nuclear Security Administration, or NNSA, is the agency within the US Department of Energy responsible for enhancing national security through the application of nuclear science. So NNSA maintains and enhances the safety, security, and effectiveness of the US nuclear weapons stockpile. Also, NNSA works to reduce the global danger from weapons of mass destruction, and also responds to nuclear and radiological emergencies, both in the US and abroad. So about 40% of our fellows work within nuclear nonproliferation. That group provides expertise and tools and technically informed policy recommendations to reduce the proliferation of nuclear or other weapons of mass destruction. About another 40% of our fellows are within managing the stockpile. That group maintains a safe, secure, and effective nuclear deterrent, including the proper mix of life extension and weapons dismantlement. And a lot of the stockpile is aging. A lot of that was developed and stood up and created during the Cold War. So there's a lot of work and exciting opportunities and projects around life extension of the nuclear stockpile. And about 20% of our fellows are in oversight and change. Most fellows in this category, they work at NNSA site offices across the country and oversee programmatic activities such as secure production and laboratory infrastructure. And so a lot of opportunities in project management and contracting activities. Okay, so NNSA is really a far-reaching organization with many opportunities and sub-offices where you can make a difference and be a part of something great. So as you can see here listed are NNSA priorities. The United States government turns to NNSA to solve some of the most critical problems facing our country and the world. Personally, I've found purpose and fulfillment being able to play a role in NNSA's mission during my career and helping make our country and world a safer and better place. NNSA is looking for the next generation of leaders to help drive the NNSA mission into the future. All right, and the NGFP is committed to diversity. We know that that leads to better decision making and problem solving. On the right-hand side of this slide, you'll see a link to our website where you can read fellows' bios to see the diverse backgrounds and disciplines of the fellows in our recent classes. And also from the annual report that you can find on our website, you can read about the recent classes and find out some of the backgrounds, maybe similar disciplines, majors, studies, experiences that the fellows have had. And we hope that you can be featured in our annual report within the next year or two. All right, so the NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program, or NGFP, is administered by Pacific Northwest National Lab, PNNL. I work for PNNL, which is one of the Department of Energy National Laboratories, and it's managed by the DOE Office of Science. So the main campus for PNNL is in Richland, Washington, and PNNL does research in many areas, including energy, chemistry, national security, climate, to name a few. And PNNL has been contracted to recruit, facilitate, and manage this NNSA Graduate Fellowship Program. As a fellow, you are not a federal NNSA employee, again, but you're hired as a PNNL employee and assigned to a DOE NNSA office. So as such, fellows' work plans and your daily activities are overseen by your NNSA supervisor and mentor, but also we're here to set you up for success and to help you navigate the fellowship. And each fellow is assigned a PNNL team lead to provide support in onboarding, travel logistics, HR matters, really any questions that come up to help you navigate the fellowship and be successful. Okay, so this slide has a lot of information here, but again, you can see that NNSA is a large, far-reaching organization with many offices and sub-offices where you can make significant contributions. So most of our positions are within NA10 defense programs, you can see here on the slide, or NA20, nuclear nonproliferation, and also the site offices, but there are usually positions in every office shown here on the slide. The program has over about 65 fellow positions per year. And again, there are various opportunities for students with various backgrounds in all areas, not just STEM, not just international affairs, but really any background in every discipline and major is considered. Again, there are vast opportunities and challenges in the fellowship. You'll work on challenging and meaningful projects. You'll be asked to provide input in meetings and influence decisions. You can develop skills such as program and project management, leadership and budgeting. So the NGFP can help launch your career in national security. A majority of every class secures employment within NNSA or the greater national security community following your fellowship. So to highlight some of these offices here, we can give a few examples. For example, NAMB is management and budget, and that group manages the budget and administrative staffs responsible for enterprise-wide systems and policies. We've had a number of fellows work in that office. NA10, defense programs. That group partners with the Department of Defense to provide safe, secure, and reliable stockpile. That includes, those life extension and weapons dismantlement projects and opportunities that are underway. NA20, Defense Nuclear Nonproliferation. That group partners to detect, secure, and dispose of dangerous nuclear and radiological material. NA40, Emergency Operations. That group builds capacity to respond to a broad spectrum of hazards and emergencies. And then again, we have NNSA field offices across the country. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through here on the slides. So again, the opportunities vary by year based on needs and different opportunities within NNSA, but the fellows are highly sought after, and they've done such great work throughout the many years the fellowship has been going on, and they're in demand. Okay, so where do fellows work? The positions are distributed across the country. Most of our fellows are in Washington, D.C. Again, we have about 65 fellows a year, and maybe an estimate would be about 50 of the fellows, maybe in DC, and depending on the needs each year, that can fluctuate a little bit. But there are sites across the country. For example, Livermore in California, or Albuquerque in New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina. And none of these sites are Siberia. You can see the pictures here. They're really nice places across the country. For example, I started my career in Albuquerque following school, graduate school, and it was a great opportunity. I loved Albuquerque. So that's just one of the areas that an example. And just a pro tip here, during your application process, you will be given the opportunity to select locations that you are willing to consider. And the pro tip here is, if you're open-minded in selecting locations, then that can increase your chances of landing an interview, an offer. So I wanted to pass that along. The fellowship provides many opportunities to grow as a professional. While fellows are not decision makers, they can influence decision makers by providing technical policy input in meetings, conversations, documents, projects that you're working on. Fellows use your academic training to help craft policies and strategy documents that influence the direction of initiatives and programs. And because as a fellow, you'll have the opportunity to operate from a systems level view, you can gain many skills related to program and project management, leadership, decision-making, scope, scheduling, budgeting, just to name a few. And for technical students who maybe come from a STEM background, fellows are not directly involved in lab research. NNSA doesn't do the science, but they manage it. So this may involve overseeing technical products that labs are producing, driving the direction of lab project work by reviewing lab deliverables, and maybe visiting labs in person to participate in meetings and observe progress. So this fellowship is a great opportunity to learn how you can influence science policy and realize progress in research space. There is a 1-week orientation, and that is held in Washington State at PNNL Richland. And during that 1-week orientation, you'll have briefings with nuclear security leaders and subject matter experts. You'll be able to attend historical and technical tours at the Hanford site, which played a key role in the Manhattan Project and where a lot of nuclear security had its genesis. Following that 1-week orientation in Washington State, you'll have 2 days at the NNSA headquarters in Washington, D.C., and you'll hear from leaders across NNSA. Again, there are a lot of graduates of the fellowship program who are in NNSA leadership and across the national security enterprise. You'll have training and leadership, career development opportunities, networking opportunities. There are 600 plus alum from the program and working across the national security community. And so it's a built-in network that you'll have. And also you'll have trainings that are specific to your individual assignments. Again, you don't have to have a background in nuclear. We want you to bring your skills that you have, your experience, and bring that to the table. A lot of these trainings are really hard to get into, and the fellowship provides exactly that. For example, the Introduction to Radiological and Nuclear Incidents Response Training at the Defense Nuclear Weapons School. We've had many fellows go through that training, a great opportunity. We also have the NNSA Aspiring Leadership Certification Program. This program provides foundational exposure to leadership competencies. These are great opportunities that can build skills in self-awareness, teamwork, business management strategies, key workplace leadership principles. And these will benefit you not just during the fellowship, but for your entire career. We also have national security enterprise briefings. We have career development workshops. We have a closing ceremony and alumni reception. So again, we're looking for fellows from a variety of backgrounds and disciplines and experiences. For example, all the engineering fields, chemistry, even things such as economics or management, international relations, physics, political science. So really don't count yourself out. We're looking for fellows who have a desire to make a difference and advance peace and security in the world and launch a career in national security. So recent highlights, we've had fellows participate in international trainings, for example, in Austria or in Italy, the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant, the WIP in Carlsbad, New Mexico, the remote sensing laboratory. I've heard that these tours and these opportunities are really outstanding and hard to come by, and the fellowship provides exactly that. And so we look forward to having you experience this fellowship and get this critical opportunities to launch a career in national security. Post-fellowship employment. This is a really exciting slide. The key point here is that NGFP alumni are highly sought after. You do great work, and people are looking to hire fellows full-time following the fellowship. And a federal offer, of course, is not a guarantee simply as a result of being in the program. But as you can see here on our chart, nearly 90% of the recent class secured employment in the national security enterprise, including 48% who received federal offers from NNSA. And you can see 29% from national security contractors, 2% Department of Defense, 2% Department of State, 8% National Laboratory. So again, the key point here is that the fellows do great work and they're sought after for full-time employment following the fellowship. You'll see 11% are those that did not gain post-fellowship employment. The majority of those are fellows who are maybe going back to finish a degree or maybe decided that national security wasn't for them. So again, great opportunities are out there, an extensive network of graduates from the program, and national security community is looking for fellows and who can make an impact in their organizations. The comprehensive benefits package. If you are working on your master's, then $53,300, for the 1 year fellowship, June to June, again, starting in June of 2023. If you've completed your master's, then $60,000. And if you've completed your PhD, then $70,500. And about 20% of our fellows are maybe still pursuing a degree, still working on their degree. The fellowship is a full-time position. And so sometimes we have fellows who might be working working on a degree, a dissertation, a thesis, or some classwork in the evenings or on weekends. And so if you maybe are working on your master's or working on your PhD and then complete that during the fellowship, you can be bumped up to that next level at that point. There's also a $4,000 hiring incentive. Of course, that's taxed, so you won't see the exactly $4,000 coming into your checking account. And it's provided as a one lump sum paid that first week of work. So that can help you, get started wherever you're going to be located during your fellowship. That's definitely helpful to get you started. And then also just a note, if in the rare case where a fellow leaves the program early, they are required to repay at least some portion of that incentive, sometimes all of that, including the taxes. Another great benefit is fellows have a budget of $10,000 to be used towards applicable training and travel expenses, and also paid vacation and holidays. Fellows earn vacation hours each month, and that can be used as paid vacation during the fellowship. PNNL offers 8 paid holidays each year. In addition, the fellows are provided 2 personal holidays that they can use whenever they deem best, along with their NNSA mentor. And those can be used during the year. And you get 2 personal holidays, from June to December, and then you get another 2 additional personal holidays from January to June. And tuition reimbursement, another great benefit. The fellows are eligible for up to $13,000 annually. There's some terms, that apply. Of course, for example, the course has to start and end within the fellowship, and you have to maintain a B average, and it has to be applicable to your course of study. So some restrictions apply, but another great benefit that's available to you there. Healthcare. This is rare for a fellowship to offer these great benefits: medical, dental, and vision insurance. The package can also cover dependents. Another great benefit that I would add here is your security clearance. That can be a huge asset as you are looking for opportunities within national security, and very appealing and attractive to people looking for fellows if you have that security clearance that you can take with you to your next position. All right, eligibility criteria. So again, about 20% of our fellows each year are still enrolled or still working on maybe a degree or a thesis or a dissertation. And again, all majors, concentrations are considered. We want you to consider the skills that you've gained in your professional experience or your studies that can transfer to the fellowship. So you need to be enrolled in a graduate degree program or have completed a graduate degree program on or after April 7th, 2021. A GPA above 3.0, and you must be a U.S. citizen eligible for security clearance. And dual citizens are encouraged to apply. Currently, DOE is not asking dual citizens to renounce any second citizenship. To be successful in the fellowship, we want people that have interpersonal skills and are a willingness to work in an integrated policy and technical environment. And again, we have mentors that can help you be successful in your fellowship and help you show you the ropes. So security clearance, just a note here, there is drug testing, and so you must demonstrate proof of non-use of federally illegal drugs for 12 months or more. And this is indicated on, through the drug test, and then also a statement on your clearance paperwork. And just again, a reminder that federally illegal drugs, that includes cannabis, marijuana, CBD products. The application, so some key reminders and deadlines to keep in mind. Your application needs to be submitted by October 7th, and you need to complete all the parts of that application. It's just one application that you do, but just make sure that you're including everything so that your application can be considered. And I encourage you to start your application today. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can start putting everything in that you have. And a pro tip here is I would recommend spending most of your time on your letter of interest. That's where you can talk about your passion for national security, your background, any experience that you have, where you can make a difference in national security, and your interest and passion for making a difference in national security and advancing peace and security in the world. And also, don't forget to include your 2 references. That's really important. We've seen some applications missing that. So make sure you have your 2 references included in your application. Also, your letter of interest, make sure that you're uploading that to the additional document section so that we can consider your application. Also, another note, currently we are requiring employees to have a COVID-19 vaccine as a condition of employment, subject to accommodation. And also, you'll see here that come October, once you meet that October 7th deadline, have your application, everything in, submitted, from October to January is when interviews will happen. And all interviews are 30 minutes with each office that may be interested in hiring you. And the interviews are done via video conference. And you can have multiple interviews, but remember that you will only receive 1 offer. Each of the offices ranks their candidates, and we extend just 1 offer. And then you'll have 48 hours from on that written offer to accept the position. And that's, a short time window, but that's to, help get the security clearance rolling and to, get everyone going so that the fellowship can begin and folks will be ready to go. So I'm here, listed on the slide, in email. Feel free to reach out with any questions, any interest that as you start your application and as you start pursuing this great opportunity. Also, our website, pnnl.gov/apply NGFP. On our website, there's a tips and frequently asked questions section. Under benefits, there are videos from previous fellows that are really insightful and helpful. And I encourage you to go to our website and explore around. And I encourage you to start your application today. We hope to see your picture included here in the future. If you're interested in national security and launching a career, I encourage you to follow the link and start your application. And you don't have to do it all at once, but you can start inputting that information and gathering all the requirements, and so you can get it in before that October 7th. One of the NNSA funded national labs has a slogan that was given to them by President Truman, and it is exceptional service in the national interest. This rings true for this fellowship. You have the opportunity to perform exceptional service in the national interest and play a role in making this country and the world a safer and better place. So I encourage you to start your application, and thank you for joining today's info session.